Let's talk about this Micro Boost.
Yeah, absolutely. So XLR's been doing a great job here for us. They've been supplying us with a ton of campers. We've been really excited to actually have these guys here. Sorry, that's my phone.
Did you not know you were going to be on TV?
Rookie move, right?
Yeah, good night.
But no, I mean, XLR, they've been doing great for us, supplying us with a ton of campers, getting us some good quality product as well. And then they've been doing some changes on the inside and outside of the camper that we've been, really excited about. They've switched to Furrion pretty much throughout the entire camper, air conditioner, hot water heater. And so we've been, pretty excited about those. Haven't really had many issues as far as those appliances with that big switch over. So, kind of those features as well. But on the inside of the camper and outside of the camper, TV bracket, outside speakers, outside shower. We do have the big awning, and it's got the XLR blue hanging on the lights up top here. And now these lights are actually out here as well, away from the camper where we're going to be spending most of the time, not right up against it. So another cool feature to actually have those guys actually off of the actual camper. So a question I get all the time is, hey, why is there the solid steps right there on the front of the camper and not on the back of the camper? It's very simple when you think about it. These steps actually fold all the way up inside the camper, take up about 6 inches all the way up to about a foot inside the camper, okay?
Right.
Whereas with these steps back here, they actually fold up and tuck away down underneath it, so you aren't losing any garage space by actually putting the steps in. So that's why you can get them on one. Now, if you do actually want to get them, I'll actually show you. It's a very simple install, takedown process. If we flip this up here and look down here on the bottom, it's literally 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 4 screws is what actually keeps this thing in there, which again, not very hard whatsoever. Screws right into the plywood on the bottom.
Cool. As we get in here, we got somebody asking about what you think 12 volts compared to gas electric refrigerators.
Great question, and honestly one of the questions I like answering. So 12 volt refrigerator honestly is probably one of the best things that's come out in the industry since those solid surface steps. Okay, those solid surface steps took the entire industry by storm, and it was great. We see a lot of different companies coming out with different small things to try to incorporate into campers, and you really don't see a lot of these small things actually take hold and spread like a wildfire across the camping industry. These 12 volt refrigerators have absolutely spread across the entire industry regardless of the line, okay? Most campers nowadays actually have standard 12 volt refrigerators, which means it's a huge thing. Even your manufacturers such as Rockwood, who is a older manufacturer, well experienced, they are not quick to change because they know what works. So they're not going to be one of those trendy brands that jump on this, that, and whatnot. They're actually going to stick with what works, their bread and butter, and keep on making them. Even Rockwood, though, switched over to 12 volt. Okay, so some of the features that are more benefit about the 12 volt, a lot more energy efficient. Okay, so a lot more energy efficient, cools down way quicker. All right.
Okay.
And then also the ability to actually have that be powered off of 3 different sources is huge. Okay, now granted, it only runs off the battery, but the battery is being charged by 3 different sources. Whether that be any solar that you put on here, whether that be your truck as you're driving down the road, or when you're plugged into any type of shore power, whether that be generator or your electric box when you're at the campsite, okay? All of those different options will be charging that battery, all right? Now, what I always like to, hear from people is they're like, hey, we're boondockers. We're not really sure that this is going to be a great option because they're so used to that gas electric option, right? And granted, I'm not going to argue with anybody, but at the same time, this refrigerator is going to be one of the better options for you as you are still boondocking as well, okay? Again, it's being charged as you're getting to it. Now, this refrigerator alone will run off the battery for at least 2 days. Just the battery, not the lights, not the slides, not anything like that, but the refrigerator and a battery sitting in a parking lot, it'll run for 2 days.
Wow.
Okay? Now, we throw on some type of charge onto it. Your truck, solar, generator, because most people that are boondocking will still carry generators, okay? Whether they'll admit it or not, they don't want to go without an air conditioner because the air conditioners do not run off of the battery, okay? So even if you're boondocking and using your generator, you're still using the refrigerator and the air conditioner. So again, love the 12 volt refrigerator, love everything about them. Really have not had a ton of complaints about these guys either. You do see a lot of that gas electric refrigerator having issues where that flame doesn't just hit the, how that gas actually works is there's like a little dish in there, and then a flame hits it, and then it basically puts off steam. The steam is what, you know, produces the energy for it, right? Well, if you're off kilter just a little bit, you're not hitting directly in the middle of the steam. You're losing energy because it's not, you know, putting off the correct amount of steam to actually produce energy to run that refrigerator. So with these refrigerators, you're also not having to worry about being perfectly level, okay? Another kind of feature that a lot of people that are used to camping, have campers, they're so used to having to have everything so perfectly level, and that's actually just because of the refrigerator. Really, everything else in here is fine. But because of that gas electric refrigerator, you have to have everything perfectly level, and then at that point, the refrigerator will run correctly, okay? But with these guys, safe to run them down the road while running. Again, it's being charged by your truck as you're driving down the road, so you're not losing any energy in that battery. So again, a lot of great features, and that's the roundabout way of saying that these things are the best things since sliced bread.
So we got, I think, Jim asking, if you have a gas refrigerator, is it easy to swap out?
No.
A 12 volt, it's not easy?
Not at all.
Okay.
You know, it's definitely not an easy thing to do. You have to cap the line as far as the electrical line, and more than likely you're going to have to make a new or bigger opening, okay? Most of the time they don't sit in the same opening either. So not an easy thing to swap out, but can it be done? Sure.
Okay.
All right. Can it be done? Sure. Honestly, your easier option, instead of actually swapping out the entire fridge, is actually just to install an inverter, and then basically have that inverter plug directly into your either 110 or gas, so that's where the gas electric comes from. You can have that inverter actually run off of that 110, so that way it runs off the battery. That's going to be your best option to actually go about that route. Okay. They no longer make the 3-way refrigerators, 12 volt, 110, and gas. They used to make those. They don't make them anymore. Again, just something that we have to deal with.
All right. So there you go. You know everything about refrigerators now. And we still have to walk through this RV. Let's hit this real fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So front bedroom up here.
Yeah.
It's got a curtain that actually screens off the rest of the coach. If you do have other people that are staying with you and want a little bit of privacy, you got USB outlets, 110 outlets there as well as storage on the bottom and across the top. So
yep.
Tons of storage there.
Perfect.
Swinging on the inside, we'll go to the kitchen. You have the one deep farm sink with the roll-up covers, residential pull-down sprayer, storage up top. We have the oven and the cooktop range, and then also the microwave with the fume hood here as well. Okay. Mentioned everything on the inside of this coach is now Furrion. All right. Still 11 cubic foot or 10.3 cubic foot, whatever you want to call it. I always just round up and say 11 cubic foot refrigerator. Fireplace here as well. TV backer already installed. Furrion set up for the speakers. Again, inside speakers in here. Outside, and then it also does have both zones, so you can run one or the other or both at the same time.
Nice.
In here we do have the recliners. All three guys are going to recline. USB hookups on the other side, as well as the light switch right there. And then these are ripcords, so they're not the electric ones where you have to worry about them breaking down. These are ripcord and completely mechanical on that side.
Walk through the bathroom here. Let you take a look. It's your typical bathroom.
RV bathroom there. All right. And yeah, so I mean, again, typical bathroom on the inside of that, Dometic toilet, as well as your sink and everything on the other side as well. So walk through bathroom. On the inside of the garage back here, we've got manual deal set up for up top here. Basically, it just folds right back down, sits right on the bottom of these guys. You don't have to worry about running out of electric and still using these guys. Even if you're not hooked up, you can still operate these guys at full capacity. These guys are going to fold out as far as your bed on the bottom. So you have bottom bed, top bed. This particular unit is going to already have the wired solar in there. So we do have solar currently charging this one up as we're driving down the road and wherever we get. And then obviously we do have our big back patio area back here as well. A lot of people ask, hey, how much weight can this actually hold? Again, guys, these are like 250 to 500 pound cables back here on the back. So 2 cables, we're holding a lot of weight back here. Okay. And then obviously this fence along the backside folds all in. You can take these guys off if you want, but you won't need to actually load up that golf cart or side-by-side or whatever it might be.
Okay, awesome. And I know you can get steps.
You can buy steps to go right off the back if you want. Most people won't spend that kind of money to do that. They'll actually just use the garage. But again, completely up to you guys.
Awesome. All right. So, what about solar panels? You mentioned solar panels. Is it smart to have more than one? Can you put 2 or 3 up here and get more power? I don't know much about solar panels.
Yeah. So, I mean, you definitely can, okay? What a lot of people have for that misconception, though, is like, hey, if I put a ton of solar up on the roof, I can run everything in the camper, and it's just not going to happen, okay? Really, to be able to run the air conditioner, and this is a little bit exaggerated, but not that bad,
right?
You're going to need about 20 batteries, okay, and somewhere right around 3,000 watts of solar.
Okay.
So to put that in layman's terms, it's not going to happen.
Right.
Okay. I mean, the solar panels right now coming about 190 watts is probably the biggest one that I've seen for campers. So, I mean, you're talking about a ton of solar up top. I mean, you're talking about 15 solar panels. Most roofs don't have that kind of room.
Right.
Plus 20 batteries weighs a ton of weight.
Okay.
So to actually have a battery box that big to be able to store all that is just not going to happen. And by doing all that, you can run your air conditioner for about 15 minutes. So that being said, not going to happen. They do have air conditioners out there, such as the Winnebago Flex. The Winnebago Flex has a smaller, low pull drain air conditioner to it. They also come with a inverter as well as lithium-ion batteries and solar up top. So that being said, that particular coach has already been equipped to run that air conditioner off of it, and so the entire camper can be ran off of your solar. But again, that's only in one particular unit. You can't take a unit such as this and say, hey, I'm going to deck this thing out for solar and expect it to run that air conditioner. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
But like I said, I mean, solar is still a good option, okay? Even though you can't run your air conditioner off of it, you are going to be able to charge the batteries. You are going to be able to run just about everything inside this coach except your fireplace if you got one,
right?
Microwave and air conditioner. Okay, so those 3 things will be the only things you really can't run off of them.